Hello everyone, Jean-Luc here. Just letting you know that this video is actually from a podcast that me and my mate Ollie tried to record. The reason that's not out is because I ended up losing half of the footage. That was fun. And I thought, instead of wasting what we have, why not get our thoughts out there? Then I hopefully won't need to talk about it again. And yeah. Also, just a little thing to mention, if the conversation is a little bit rambly and all over the place, this was our first time doing it, so yeah, we kind of tried to stick to a structure, but it didn't quite work. We went off on various tangents. I tried to cut it all down and make it consistent, but yeah, you'll see when you're listening to it that we don't quite stick to the one thing. But with all that said, I'm going to stop rambling now, and I'll let you get on with the video.
Let's actually talk about the series now as a whole. So,
yes.
Immediate thoughts after coming out of Battle of Ranskorav Kolos, and thinking about it all as one thing. How do you feel?
It's an interesting one because after coming out after the finale, this is where I think my opinion of the series changed. Because I came out of the finale feeling slightly underwhelmed, and then looking back onto the series, yeah, I just would have liked to have seen more from it.
I can agree. I agree to an extent. Yeah.
I think.
Do feel. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
I think the problem this series had was the fact that it had no direction, and so we didn't really have any build up to the finale. So yeah, I can't help but think the series came off a little bit flat to me. Like, I think it started out really well, the first 3 episodes. Although Ghost Monument is, a little bit weak. Dud. Yeah, it does work because they are so different in tone, and it does feel like
that is a big thing in this series. I do feel like every episode has had a different feel, given me a different, which is good for a show that is like Monster of the Week. You've got to. Sometimes was back in the Stephen Moffat era, especially. You saw a writer, you sort of knew what you were gonna get.
Yeah.
You had your pre-expectations for it. That is why the series 10 finale blew us all away. But
yeah, but then Twice Upon a Time undone that.
Don't. Right. I it's an odd one to talk about because if you haven't guessed, listeners, I really enjoyed Series 11 and I still feel quite positive about it.
Yeah.
Jean's a bit indifferent to it.
I'm a bit mixed on it. You see, there's really good things about it. I think the series is really hard to compare to ours because it's so new.
That's what I don't like about that. Is sort of one thing you can sort of in the other like right wing Doctor Who sort of people it is sort of difficult to compare this to other seasons. But then they try and do it anyway and use that as a bad thing.
I don't know. I think that's my problem. Why I was a little disappointed on the finale, because compared to all our finales, it didn't quite live up to the hype. But as its own self-contained thing, it admittedly does work. I think I was just expecting a little bit more, especially coming from the Series 10 finale.
That's funny. Let's not talk about Ranskorav Kolos specifically.
Yeah,
but
it's just I think that after a finale, it does sort of like round off the series. It's like the opener and the finale are sort of the 2 bookends that I think have to really make the series in to an extent.
People have sort of been saying that Resolution, the New Year's Day special, is probably going to act more as a big bombastic finale.
Yeah, I've heard that. So I'm a little bit annoyed that it's not included on the DVD or Blu-ray.
Yeah, because it's. No, I'm not going to get into that. It's just annoying marketing, all right, BBC. Just you're releasing it after.
Yeah, this is what they're going to do. They're going to release it separately, and then in a few years' time, they're going to release another box set with them all together.
The Jodie Whittaker years,
Yeah.
Or series 11, but including Resolution.
Yeah.
Which is probably what they'll do with Series 10 and Twice Upon a Time, My main problem with the series is, the no direction. It does feel like this isn't really going anywhere, and when it does get to that finale where who comes back, there's been no build up to it. We just sort of guessed he was coming back.
Yeah, because the only real hint of a direction we got was in the Ghost Monument when we had that little bit when the stencil were brought up. It's like, oh yeah, they've wiped at the race.
And then we spent the rest of the series worrying that they were going to keep getting mentioned and be like really obviously hinted at to be in the finale.
Remember when we thought that every villain was going to come back?
I still think a better finale would have been they go to 2020 America. Jack Robertson has been elected as president. They're at the White House. The doors burst open, and a horde of spiders crawl out, like John Cranston said.
Yeah.
And a Pating is riding each of the spiders, and then the big queen spider comes out, and on it is Robertson, Tim Shaw, and Krasko. Robertson's firing his gun in the air. You know, there's the rag things, the remnants are flying around.
Oh yeah.
Going on about the timeless child. What else happened?
King James
is off in the back. King James is off in the background, cursing Satan. The Kablam men keep teleporting in and detonating bubble wrap across America. You know.
Yeah.
Fire and fury, Doctor.
I can see Robertson coming back though. I think I can see him coming back. Maybe series 12.
I think it's more likely now that series 12 is coming out in 2020, which we'll get onto.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. True.
Because now they know, they must have known they wouldn't be going into production to get it done for 2019. That's something you plan ahead of time.
Yeah, but wasn't there something wrong with the production?
Well, there was a rumour that there was a 3-month delay or something.
Yeah.
But we don't know if that was true. Then someone said that they got in contact with the BBC and said it would be coming out in 2019. So fuck whoever that was.
Well, that's the thing. One of the writers from Series 12 even came out and said that it was meant to be airing in 2019.
Let's basically go for likes and dislikes of Series 11. Let's start with the likes, because let's be positive about this. Straight off the bat, what is your first, proper, massive, glaring like for you?
Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor. Although I have problems with her, I think her as the Doctor was the right choice.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I know you're not as keen on her as I, her Doctor. Obviously, Jodie's the most wonderful person in the world.
I like her Doctor. I just think some of the scripts have let her down. You know, like a lot of New Who Doctors.
The 12th Doctor.
Yeah.
I have more of a problem with it with the 12th Doctor because his personality was literally nothing but previous things. Especially in Series 9, where he was doing all the Smith stuff and being a young, hip, trendy Doctor. I know Jodie has got a lot of that in her, but I feel it works more with her because it's, it was written into her character. And also, there's the thing of this series was written. A lot of the episodes were written before the casting had been made.
Yeah, I think that really weird though. I think that's why some of her dialogue comes off quite.
Oh, this
doesn't
could
quite
be said
fit.
by literally any Doctor.
Yeah, yeah, she does feel a little bit too generic for my liking, and that's probably one of my main flaws with her Doctor. Is I don't think she has anything. Well, not that she doesn't have anything, but I don't think she has her thing.
The stuff that is new to her, great. And I guess that's the same thing of BBC wanted to play it safe this series.
And then we've got the little niggles, such as too much exposition, too much pointing of the sonic screwdriver.
Yeah. And it almost feels like it's talking, the educational thing. It's we wanted to make this show educational again, basically. That's good, because that's what Doctor Who's main focus was. It did sometimes feel like it was talking down to us.
Yeah, it did feel like it was made for a younger audience. That's what I thought.
Yeah, and inadvertently talking down to to kids and things. It's when I know well.
I know what you mean. Kids aren't stupid, is what you were trying to say.
Not all kids are completely dumbass. Sit down and they'll watch it. They can they're not as their brains obviously aren't as developed, but they're not complete idiots that we need to hold their hands for literally everything.
Then again, there's fully grown men like El Patron who.
Hi El. That was another shout out. We'll shout you out every episode, man. We love you. Don't stay safe. You know. Yeah, Jodie's 13 is definitely a mixed bag of positives and negatives.
Yeah.
For me, the positives outweigh the negatives.
Yeah. I agree.
Massive positive is Jodie's performance, because every episode, like, no matter really what she's saying, she delivers it with such confidence and believability that you do sort of like. I remember hearing one of the radio trailers where it was the first time you heard her say, "I'm the Doctor," not not just cut from an episode. It was literally that bit from Woman Who Fell to Earth where she goes, "I'm the Doctor."
Yeah.
And it was that, and I think it hit me at that moment. I was like, I believe you that you are the Doctor. And that is something I haven't really felt for a long time with a Doctor.
No, it usually takes me ages to warm to them.
Yeah, with Peter Capaldi, it's sort of thing. It's like, oh, he's the Doctor, I guess.
Well, that's
we've had.
Yeah, but the problem with his Doctor was that he wasn't the Doctor for his first two series.
Well, we've talked about this outside of the podcast, but it's like, in his first series, his whole thing is, am I the Doctor? In series 9, his whole thing is, he isn't the Doctor. Yeah. And in his first series, it's like, oh, I'm the Doctor now.
Yeah, I guess I'll be the Doctor now.
Yeah, I guess I'll be the Doctor. That's why series 10 is probably his best, obviously it is his best season.
Yeah.
But it's one of the better seasons of New Who, because it suddenly like goes, none of this stupid poncing around, like, you know, existential stuff.
Well, yeah, Peter's a brilliant actor, and they finally nailed his character. It's just a shame it took so long.
People saying, like, I think he would have been better if he had stayed on for another series. I don't necessarily think so, because we don't know how Chibnall would have done him. That would have been interesting.
That would have been really interesting, because the whole show would have changed, but the Doctor.
And that would have been weird, and
yeah.
I'm glad that Peter took it upon himself to leave, you know. I love him. Could have gotten so much better. Yeah. He could have been like the new Tom Baker. He could have stayed around for years, and he would have been great. But, you know.
Yeah.
It's bad writing!
Something that I think we need to bring back for Series 12 is two-parters.
Is that your main negative? Like, standalone stories can work, but two-parters work better usually.
Yeah, because we saw it with Series 8 was mostly just singular parters, minus the finale.
Series 7 is completely single parters.
Yeah, true. And these are some of, like, the weaker seasons. I really think that the finale should have been a two-parter. Because there was so much in it that we just didn't get to explore. There could have been a lot more. We could have actually seen a battle. Yeah, that's really disappointing that it had nothing really to do with a battle.
I know, it's just like, and this is after the battle.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but also I'd rather see a battle, you know, for a finale. Like, you can sort of, Ranskorav Kolos could work as just a mid-season sort of episode, you know?
That's what I thought it was going to be from the trailers and stuff. It didn't look like anything.
That's the finale. Yeah, that's the finale. Oh, yeah. But yeah, two-parters, I'd definitely bring back. Maybe two-parters.
Yeah.
You know, we've only got 10 episodes, and I'd like a lot of, like, some more stories, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't have, like, the whole series as two-parters.
Because we saw what happened with that in Series 9, and boy.
Yeah, two-parters sounds about right.
Probably one in the middle, probably one near the beginning.
Yeah.
And probably the finale.
Well, I'd probably have, like, a mid-series one and then a finale. Like, I'd have a mid-series one and then probably have, like, a returning villain.
I'd put it at, like, episode 3 and 4. That'd be my two-parter.
Yeah, that would work. It's just usually about the middle. That's usually when you get the dip in audience.
Yeah.
And people start tuning out. So I think that's when you really need something to, like, whoa, come on, the Daleks or something. Probably not the Daleks, but you know what I mean.
That's the tagline for Resolution.
Yeah.
Whoa, look, the Dalek! Come watch it.
The thing is, I'm looking for negatives, but I can't really pinpoint negatives. I think there's just things that I would do differently, such as I think Chris Chibnall needs to be a bit bolder with Series 12. I think he was far too safe.
I also think he needs to not write as many stories, write half the series.
Yeah, true. I get what he was doing, because I'm pretty sure Russell wrote about the same.
And Moffat did that as well.
Yeah.
Moffat did that as well. They all, like, most of the Series 1 is written by Russell.
I think it is just the
Yeah.
fact that there is only 10 episodes. It's like...
That it feels like there's more, like he's written more of it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, we need that more individuality. Give someone else like a two-parter. I know the guy who wrote It Takes You Away, it's put on like his CV or whatever it is, you know, like his IMDb that he's coming back for series 12, which is good because I liked It Takes You Away.
I'm mixed on it. I think it's just due to where it was placed in the series, to be honest.
Yeah, it doesn't... Could have been a finale, to be honest. Because it is the end, the emotional climax of Ryan and Graham's story.
There's something about it. It Takes You Away should have really been a two-parter, in all honesty, because there's so much in there that I just wish we could explore more.
Have like a bit in the anti-zone, you know?
I could have seen it as an episode of Black Mirror to a degree, just if they explored more.
I can get that sense from it as well.
Yeah, I would have liked to have spent more time with the other side of the world. I would have also liked to have seen maybe more returning characters, like, as in, not like, you know, oh, here's a character from series 3, remember them? But like, just maybe someone the Doctor knows and maybe that she's lost. Because it felt like, you know, they were trying to create, like, this is a sort of heaven place for, like, loved missed ones.
I didn't know what was going to happen when the Doctor is there in the solid tract and she's walking along. I thought, who are we going to see here?
Yeah.
But I do also like that it wasn't. It did sort of pull back on everyone's expectations. Like, you expecting Missy or River? Nope, it's a frog.
I was not expecting Missy or River. It would have been awful.
I had a horrible suspicion it was going to be River. But,
no,
you know,
well, no, because Chippendale had already came out and said, like, or
but
seen
he came out and said a lot of things, Sean.
I saw an article being like, yeah, all these characters are done with now. That they won't be returning, at least not for a while.
Farewell, Ostrax.
I would have preferred actually just an original character who the Doctor knows them, but maybe we don't know them.
The Doctor's gran that she mentioned in the story. That might have been cool, because then you can sort of go, it's just like, Nan?
And then everyone would get really hissy about looms on Twitter.
They've all got looms in their pants. It's how Time Lords procreate.
Yeah.
Just smashing looms together. Let's get on to the companions, actually. Let's move on from this likes and dislikes sort of thing and get on to, like, specific elements, you know? Just pick out things, you know? Like, actually, let's go through categories. So, let's go with companions, because we've talked about the Doctor.
Yeah.
We like her. She can do better, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, the funny thing is, I had actually forgot about Yaz until you just mentioned her there.
And I think that is the problem.
Yeah.
Right, companions. Yeah, let's start with Yaz then. She is not given nearly as enough to do as the other two, Graham and Ryan.
Yeah, Yaz was set up really well. She had a lot of potential from episode 1, and then we just...
Before the series came out, I expected her to be the main one.
Yeah. Same, to be honest.
I thought, because we hadn't seen much of Tozin, I'd seen a lot more of Mandip. I thought Ryan was just going to be like, oh, there's Ryan.
Yeah.
Like, I was expecting him to be the sort of background sort of one.
I'll be honest, I think what the problem was, and I'm pretty sure Phoenix said this as well, is that it would have been better to maybe split up the companions from time to time, like have them go off like individually, as opposed to all three of them have to always be there, because then we don't always have the time. But then again, when they do split
off, it's the same sort of groups that split off.
Yeah.
It's the Doctor and Yaz and Graham and Ryan. It's never Graham and Yaz. I think there's like one time that Graham and Yaz go off together, and that's Demons of the Punjab. And Graham steals the fucking scene.
I don't think Graham or Ryan should have even been in Demons of the Punjab, because they don't have much to do at all. They're just sort of there.
Ryan takes a back seat, which is nice in that episode. But Graham is still there.
Yeah, because I remember him talking to Yaz.
And then there's a bit where he goes, like, he gives the speech to Prem where he's like, all we can be is good men.
Oh, yeah.
And sadly Walsh.
Oh, Graham's so good.
He is I think he is the best new series companion, just for how much there is going on with him.
I never thought any of us would be saying that before going into this.
No one thought Nardar would be good, and yet he was. He was one of the best parts of Series 10.
Yeah.
Oh. this series was Graham and Ryan's series. I get that.
Yeah.
But their story is basically like their emotional journey has come to an end now, or it's come to a point where I don't see it can progress.
Yeah,
as much farther.
I think if we see any more of their story, it will be to do with Ryan's dad.
I think that's what's happening in Resolution.
Well, yeah, you said you thought his dad was in it.
Yeah, I do think any more of Graham and Ryan's story, apart from like what I said about Ryan's dad possibly being in Resolution and maybe becoming a bit of a character in Series 12,
yeah,
it's going to be a bit of an overkill. Oh, I just had a thought about what they might do. They might do the thing where it's like Ryan's dad comes back, he wants to be there for Ryan, and it's going to be him, like every few episodes will go back to Sheffield, and it'll be Graham and Ryan, but not Graham and Ryan, Graham and Ryan's dad butting heads a bit.
That could work, but I don't want the focus to be solely on them. I do want more Yaz going forward.
I'd rather not have that now.
I don't mind it. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen in Resolution.
Yeah, maybe in Resolution, but I think that's about it, because I don't want to keep going back and it's like, oh, Doc, take us back to Sheffield. I've got to punch Ryan's dad or something.
No, I don't think it'll be like that. I think it will literally... There might be one or two stories focusing around it, but I don't think it'll be like, oh yeah, we need to go back to Sheffield now to see my dad.
The end of Tim Shaw does sort of mean the end of Grace, for me at least. Like, I think that's done now.
I don't mind it being brought up, maybe, but I don't want it like constantly like referenced.
But I don't want Graham to be sad about it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, they'll both remember Grace and they'll be like, yeah.
I don't want it like any more like flashbacks, like, oh look, Grace is here, but she isn't.
Or
really.
that bit in Zaranga Conundrum where they go, if your nan could see us now, it's like, gotta mention Grace.
I didn't mind that bit, but yeah, I understand what you mean.
Alright, I've got another negative.
What?
The bits in the episodes where the plot just stops so the characters can, like, two characters can just talk in a room about their feelings in their past. Which happens, very big, a massive part, right? It happens when Woman Who Fell to Earth, there's bits of it scattered through, but that's alright because that's the introduction. Ghost Monument, it happens when Graham and Ryan are on that boat and Graham just goes, we ever gonna talk about your nan?
I think it works in Ghost Monument a little bit better because they are on a boat.
Yeah. Rosa, of course it works in that about the whole, like when Ryan and Yaz are hiding behind the bins.
It does feel a little bit on the nose.
But at least, I think we need that scene in that episode. Otherwise, when else are we going to bring that up, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Arachnids in the UK, it's when they're walking around that ballroom.
What bit's that?
That's the bit, you know, the bit when Ryan's got his letter from his dad.
Oh, yeah.
And they look up at the roof, and it was when they're looking for the spider.
Yeah,
and he goes, I've read the letter. Also, there's a bit before that where he's like, Graham goes, he hands him the letter as the Doctor and that scientist woman are walking over the bridge, and he goes, that's the letter, and then he goes, I'm not going to read it. Zaranga Conundrum, it's when Ryan and Yaz walk out and they talk about Ryan finding his nan dead. Not his nan, his mum, like, dying.
Yeah, I know.
That is the one that really got, like, I noticed it was like, oh, okay, isn't the ship gonna... There's a tiny creature on board eating your ship, and let's talk about Ryan's mum.
I don't remember much about Zaranga Conundrum.
I'm trying to think. Demons of the Punjab. I guess it's the bit when Graham has that talk to Yaz, talking about how their lives are great, and that her nan isn't her nan yet.
Yeah.
It's always a scene with Graham, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kablam. There's not actually one in Kablam. I don't remember. No, I don't think there is.
I don't know. Maybe with that girl when like they were trying to get information at the start, when she was like just explaining her life.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot. Maybe. I don't think that's as noticeable though. That was
it was setting up.
But that sets up her character as like, you like her.
Yeah.
And she's got a really tragic past, and then she dies in a horrific way. So, you know. Gets you in the heartstrings. What else? What's after that? Witchfinders. I honestly can't remember. Maybe when Ryan's talking to King James about his life.
Maybe.
But then it's Alan Cumming, so it instantly makes it 10 times better. Because he's going, it's a tragedy, really. Witchcraft! Whenever you get out of a depressive mood, I have vanquished Satan! We got to talk about the guest cast in a minute. The whole of it takes you away as a character piece, so, you know, there is a lot of just the bit when Grace comes back, basically. And in Battle of Ranskorav Kolos, it's when just Ryan and Graham are walking around talking about how Graham wants to kill Tim Shaw.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. I think that's just my main complaint. It's just like, it can be really noticeable sometimes where it's like, and here's the feelings moment.
It's weird. Chibnall is good at writing characters, but he isn't good at writing dialogue.
And that, well, certain dialogue.
Yeah.
Certain natural flowing dialogue. He can get dialogue on page and it can be passable, but it can also be quite noticeable as, and here is the dialogue scene.
Yeah, he's bad at his sci-fi stuff.
He's got good concepts. It's the problem that he explains everything.
Yeah, he treats the audience like they're idiots, so it's like...
Don't it's like let us assume that's the case. He, like, when she sees the pregnant man, Jodie goes, gift down pregnancies last a week or something, you know?
Yeah, it's like...
Or and when they meet that woman, that Eve Cicero, that Captain Admiral woman, you know, who's like got a dodgy heart. Is it Pilot's heart? The fuck is Pilot's heart?
No
yeah,
idea.
she sees her and she goes, and she just lists off what she did, why she's famous.
Well, yeah, that was a problem that I have with the 13th Doctor, how she just sees people and then will list things off about them to...
Like, lists her Wikipedia page, and you know...
Yeah, like, she done it with Rosa. I think it worked there, but then also with the Ux.
The Ux, yeah, she goes, the Ux! There's something, I've never met an Ux before, and like...
Yeah. It's something Tennant used to do, but he'd do it, like,
There was more... It's noticeable in a lot of Chibnall's work where they're going back to the feelings scene, you know, like the scene in every episode where they have to talk about how they feel. That's in Power of Three as well, where the plot stops so Amy and the Doctor can sit outside and talk about how the Doctor runs around and doesn't want to leave them.
Oh yeah.
And then he instantly goes back to the plot. It's just this random detail. Sorry, it's just noticeable a bit. There's also, it's even in 42 with Martha and that guy going through all the systems, you know, in that shuttle where they talk
Yeah. I know.
So how do you feel about the Doctor, Martha?
Yeah, but the funny thing is, it's even in Pond Life, that little mini thing that was just mini-sodes. There's like one where like there's this like sad phone call.
Yeah, that's where the Doctor just talks about why he's sad. Oh, God.
Yeah.
How did we not notice this? We checked Chibnall before. We thought
we thought we knew what we were in for.
Oh, anyway, guest cast. Come on, let's talk. Unless you've got anything else to talk about, like.
No, I'm up for going into guest cast.
Let's go from.
Would you take Grace as guest cast?
No, I can't. Well, yeah, let's go with her. She's probably the most recurring, and she's great. Sharon D. Clarke was good in Woman Who Fell to Earth, and probably like especially in Arachnids in the UK. I love that moment where it cut back to Graham, and he's imagining.
Graham was just amazing.
I like how we skipped over the rest of the companions. We just talked about Yaz and how she didn't do enough. We didn't even talk about Ryan and Graham.
Fuck's it! God damn it!
Oh, Graham's the best companion, and Ryan is a lovable scamp, and Tozin just needs to work on some of his delivery a bit. But, you know.
Yeah, I think he comes off a little bit wooden at times, but I think his character's all there. Every
time it cuts to a Graham and Ryan, like, whenever, like, even though I was annoyed that it was the same pairings off of, like, Doctor and Yaz go off, Graham and Ryan go off, it was always nice to cut back to Graham and Ryan. Just what are they up to? Like, especially in one thing you've got to give a Saranga Conundrum for is when they go off and have to deliver the baby and they have no fucking idea what they're doing. It's like, keep breathing, cockle.
Yeah.
Oh, Doc, Graham.
Yeah, I love that he kept the.
And she didn't mind. She
Yeah.
didn't mind. That means she really likes him. That must mean she really likes him.
If that was any other Doctor, you could see them having a go at him.
Yeah, every episode be like, Graham. Like, it'd be the professor thing with Ace. Be like,
Yeah.
Doctor. You know. But
Well,
she likes him. Or maybe 13's just really easygoing.
Yeah, well, she comes across that way.
Yeah. Probably a mix of the both.
Hmm.
Because she really believes that he can do better in Battle of Ranskorath Kolos.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to kill him. I know people have pointed out, it's like, Doctor's morals are a bit messed up in this series, and they can be at times. But,
Yeah.
are you really just going to kill this guy in cold blood? You know, he may have massacred, like, hundreds, but that's not the way you do it. Like, it is sort of becoming as bad as him.
Yeah, I mean, that's why the Doctor was so angry at that guy and Woman That Fell to Earth for kicking him off the crane.
Yeah, you're just like, you almost killed him. That's that's the opposite of what I do.
Yeah. Like,
she will obviously use violence, although this Doctor is a bit of a pacifist, like, more than most. Like, I don't know if it's going back to the Tennant I never would sort of thing.
I think
she uses Venusian Aikido a lot. But, you know. Sorry, what were we talking about? Guest cast.
Yeah, guest cast.
Tangents, but yeah, we love the companions. Just give Yaz more to do in series 12. I guess like something with her family would be nice. I want to see more of her dad and her sister.
Yeah, I really like them, and then we didn't really get much with them at all. That's going back onto Yaz just for a little second. I didn't like how with all the family-centered episodes, none of them focused on her character. It was like the perfect opportunity to be like, okay, right, this is a Yaz like central story.
It shouldn't have just been Yaz and her mum. It should have been like the entire family should have gone to that hotel.
Maybe, but then it might have been a bit crowded though, because I mean there was quite a lot of people there already.
Yeah.
Like we had that scientist woman and
who did nothing.
Yeah, they'd probably
just sort of explained that there were spiders and that was it, really.
There was that other guy who was killed off. Yeah, Robson's bodyguard.
Yeah,
but I feel like there would have been too much if the whole family had went.
Oh, right. Guest cast quickly now. We want to zoom through this.
I think we should as opposed to going through every member of guest cast, I think we should touch on the ones that really stood out to us.
Yeah, I think that will work better.
Going in chronological order then.
The two people in Ghost Monument were all right, I guess, for like a beginning.
Yeah, I like.
They didn't really stand out. You know, that like the guy is a bit of a typical Doctor Who dick, but you learn to love him because he's got a bit more going on.
Yeah, I like Sean Daly. Like he was in Broadchurch, so.
Ooh. Well, a lot of people were in things that Jodie Whittaker's worked on this series. That is something we must mention. Chibnall has brought a lot of people that either Jodie has worked with or he has worked with onto this series.
I think there was a bit of a meme, like, when watching Broadchurch, it's like, oh, how many people from Doctor Who have been on Broadchurch? But it was, like, the opposite.
How many people have in Doctor Who have been, in Broadchurch have been in Doctor Who?
Yeah. Vinette Robinson as...
Rosa Parks.
Yes.
Oh.
She blew that out of the water. Because I really didn't know what to expect from her performance in 42.
Because when someone told me she was in 42, it's like, she's British.
Yeah.
Like... I'm worried here because Doctor Who hasn't really been done American accents well in the past.
Yeah.
Unless it's been an American actor. So, no, she was superb as Rosa Parks. Like,
yes.
Rosa's my favourite episode of this series. So, you know,
yeah,
it was just incredible, really. Absolutely incredible.
It was so, like... It was such an honest portrayal of the character as well.
Yeah, she didn't make her, like, grandiose or, like, I am Rosa Parks. It was just, like, she's just a normal person. She played her like a normal woman and honoured what she did. Like, that is something also that's really good in that episode. Like, it doesn't take away, really, from anything that Rosa did. No. All it really adds is, like, oh, and they were on the bus. which doesn't really bother me because it has that beautiful moment where Graham is like, I do not want to be a part of this, and he starts crying because he's like,
Yeah,
I cannot physically do this, Doctor. This is too hard for me.
One of the best scenes in the whole series, in my opinion.
And fuck everyone who thinks the pop music was shite.
Oh, I was just about to say, that was the only thing that took me out of it. I would have preferred if they hadn't. I think it would have been so much more powerful without the music. Watching it play out in silence.
I think it worked just like it hit it home, especially as it continued into the end credits.
My problem was the music that was used, because it was about a woman rising up, and it's like, it didn't really fit to me. It was like, oh, female empowerment, rising up against the man, and it's like...
Well, I don't think that would have been in the script. That would have been a thing that would added in post, you know?
Yeah. I just think it would have been so much more powerful and emotional just to see it play out without it.
Rosa's still like a 9, nearly a 10.
Oh, yeah, definitely. 10. Yeah, it's up there. I don't know if it's my favourite or second favourite of the series.
What's your favourite? What's it contending with then?
Kerblam.
Okay. I mean, I shouldn't be saying that. We named the podcast after Kerblam. I enjoyed Kerblam. Can I say that? I'm confirming now. I enjoyed Kerblam. Okay? Don't jump down my throat. Oh.
It's the most, like, traditional from the
Doctor
series
Who
that is
one,
just
yeah.
Doctor Who. Yeah.
Guest cast, stick on that. After Rosebuds, there was the nice inclusion of Martin Luther King in that, and he was quite...
Yeah, he was a good stand-in.
He had that tiny scene, but he was nice, you know? It was just like, and this is Dr. King. And Ryan has that great moment where he's like,
I thought Ryan was really good in that.
Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King in the same room.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
that's where I think he excelled as a character, Ryan.
That was probably Tozin's best performance.
Yeah, because he actually felt engaged. Like you could feel his excitement. He was like, "Oh my god, these people are here.
Yeah,
this is actually a thing."
Because he's shaking his hand really vigorously. Next, we had Jack Robertson, Chris Noth in Arachnids in the UK.
He's... You know what, I'm going to say I liked him just because of how over the top and stupid he was.
I do think he knew what he was doing. He wasn't like just being that because it's like, it's a kid's show. It's like I think he was intentionally playing it that way. He
made the episodes.
He was. I found him enjoyable to watch in a sort of weird way. Like,
yeah,
it's so ridiculous that it works.
The whole episode is so ridiculous. You're like, okay, big spiders, this Trump standing guy.
Arachnids is my least favorite episode, but what really doesn't work for me is that it just ends. Like there is no sort of there's a first and second act. There is no real third act. It just cuts. It fades to black. There is we've talked about
Tardis.
This. It doesn't it needed some tiny little scene.
What happened to the spiders that were left in the city?
They're all still there. There's one next door to Yaz's family.
just stuck there and what did they do? Put down vinegar or something?
There was one at Graham's house, unless we're supposed to be told it was the same one at Yaz's house, which is just why the massive coincidence.
Yeah.
And we don't know how many others got out there, because we were told that there was a massive spider problem out there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still stuff, unless, and I have speculated on this, the one where, because Robertson is very heavily implied to be coming back.
Yeah.
So I have a suspicion, or it might not happen, it might not. But I think Arachnids might get a sequel, in the way that Day of the Doctor wrapped up the Zygon story.
Yeah.
In Series 9. I'm thinking maybe Chibnall could see that, in that needed a proper ending. And maybe, have the threat be a bit more global with these spiders.
I don't see the spiders coming back, but I think if Robertson does come back, they will explain it off or something. I can't see the spiders returning.
UNIT dealt with all of these. It's all good,
Yeah, or maybe it was implied that, maybe the Doctor, before it cut, she sorted it out.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? It was a bad story. But, Chris Noth.
With a good guest character. Do we really talk about Yaz's family? Because we've already said that we really enjoyed them.
Yeah,
the mum is actually the one who features the most in Arachnids. Is the least interesting one out of all of them. but which is sad because I like the actress because I've seen her in stuff, but more just Yaz and her family and her life, you know.
Just imagine if it was our dad that went with him, because he's into his conspiracies. That would have been really good.
There is the nice line where she goes, my husband's right, it's a conspiracy. Do you have any idea what it's like when my husband's right? Because that is just such a thing with, like, a lot of wives say anyway. Like, it's not a thing where it's like, it's not an eye-rolly... It's kind of an eye-rolly Moffat thing, but it's true, at least.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, it's a woman, you know? Like, that bit in The Wedding of River Song where it's like, what happened to time? A woman! Oh! That has not aged well at all.
Nothing about that episode has aged well.
What's this woman like? Hell in high heels. Tell me more. Oh! You beamed it, Moffat. You fucking beamed it up.
Let's not talk about The Wedding of River Song.
Zaranga Conundrum. We had a few guest characters in that one.
I don't think any of them stood out for me. I thought most of the guest casts were quite dull.
Yeah, they were all a bit... Maybe the nurse woman, she was alright. But, you know, none of them really, like... Wow, it's this person. Maybe the pregnant man, he was quite good, but he wasn't even included in, like, the coming soon bit, which annoys me.
I can see why, because I don't think they wanted to give that away. Although an image was leaked of the pregnant man before the series aired. I can see why.
That's the thing with this series. There were lots of little leaks, but not as massive leaks until, like, the woman who felt working out. Huh?
The Tardis was quite a big one.
Well, I didn't see that. I luckily escaped all that.
Well, you say that. You just called me and then I explained it to you.
Well, you explained bits of it, so, you know. Shut up. Oh, Demons of the Punjab. No one really stood out in that.
I thought, what was the husband guy in that? Prem? Yeah, I thought he was decent.
It was okay. I wasn't really in a good mood. Negative. Found another negative. We're jumping all across these things. Stop using the sonic screwdriver, Jodie. Put it down. Especially in Demons of the Punjab.
I'm not a fan of demons. And I think
I'm not really, like, into it.
I like the message and stuff, but I think they...
Yeah, it's got a powerful ending, but it's not completely earned.
I think the ending's probably the best part about it.
Yeah.
I also really like the Doctor in it. I like the little moments where she sits down with the family, how she, you know...
I like the scene
the wedding.
at the what is it, Hindu?
Yeah.
You know, where she goes, never did this when I was a man.
Yeah.
Because you can see the surprise in her face when she's getting it done on her hands. She's like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah. Doctor, you and your jokes.
Oh yes, my references to bodily and gender regeneration are purely in jest. Such a comedian. Love her little quirks, you know.
Yeah.
Negatives and positives. Positives outweigh the negatives, but we can get rid of a lot of those negatives if we just, you know. Come on, Series 12. We're rooting for you.
Yep.
Like we're not dreading you. We do want you to do well because we know we can do well. Like the show isn't completely ruined at this point.
No.
Far from it, really. Like this series was the most watched ever. Well, one of them.
Well, yeah.
At the biggest debut, and I think that equated to...
It's the most watched since Series 4.
Yeah. Which is saying something, because Smith was quite popular.
I don't know, because a lot of Tennant fanboys, you know, and fangirls dropped off as soon as Smith was in it.
Yeah, but we got a lot more with Smith. But, you know,
true.
I do see, like... It is a great achievement after 10 years. Like, it is 10 years, 2008, 2018. It took us 10 years to get back to that level, which is great.
Probably from there, it was just... In fact, from, like, Series 6, it was just, like, a decline. Because Series 6 made the show international, and then ever from that point, it just slowly went down.
Series 5, 6, and 7 do feel different to each other. 7B, I'm mostly referring to when I talk about 7.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think after Series 7, the show didn't really change. Like, it never looked different. It was the same... Like, the entire of the Capaldi era looks the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest change, like, was probably coming from You know, not counting Series 11, but probably was coming from Series 4 to Series 5.
Yeah, that was the biggest change, yeah.
So, what was the episode after?
Well, after Demons, Kablam, we got our Kablam.
Oh yeah, Kablam.
One of our favourite episodes of this series. Lee Mack.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in it.
How could we? How could we
I
forget
don't know.
Lee Mack?
Lee
He
Mack.
was the best.
Playing Lee Mack, and it worked.
He was just playing Lee Mack. And he even got an emotional moment. And it felt really sad when he died.
I loved that like painting or like big picture of him now just
Style
exists as a thing.
Just like it was when he walked up to it, I burst out, my entire family burst out laughing.
Like, that exists. I really hope that's in the new Doctor Who experience.
Oh, can you imagine? Oh, a whole Kablam little section with Kablam men and boxes and bubble wrap, and then that poster of Lee.
Yeah.
Oh, Judy or Julie Hesmond Hall.
Yeah, I thought she was really good.
She was really good because you sort of maybe suspect that she's the bad guy at first.
Yeah.
And then it might also be that other guy.
Yeah, because they're sort of set up as like, oh yeah, well they're the head of the company.
Well, the guy seemed really obviously to be a villain, so it's like it's probably not.
He seemed really suspicious.
So it's probably not gonna be him. And it could have really been her because she was acting really nicely.
It was just the Scooby-Doo thing.
And then it was just that guy. There was that guy, and he was like, "I'm evil."
It's so obvious though when you watch it back. It's like they set it up, but in a really subtle way. Like just the way how awkward he is, the way that he has plans to the building to give to Graham.
Also, the Kablam system tries to get the Doctor to him, like because originally she swaps her tags around with Graham.
Yeah.
And Graham becomes the janitor, and who else is the janitor? The villain.
Yeah.
So Jodie was originally going to be that. Why do I keep saying Jodie? The Doctor was. It's just a natural reflex. I just sort of see them as the same person. The Doctor could it was literally going. They're right here.
Yeah.
Can't really think of anyone else in Kablam. I don't think there was, apart from like the girl and the guy. They were quite good. Like you think they're gonna have like that romantic relationship, and then it completely does a 180.
I think the way it was set up was quite obvious. I did kind of expect from the way the girl was set up that she's probably gonna die, isn't she?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think
then
it was
after, sorry.
Yeah, I think it was just that thing. She was set up to be like, someone that you really like, someone that's had like a really sad story, and then
Boosh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Witchfinders. We've got... I have vanquished Satan.
Yes. Alan coming.
Ryan, I want you to come back to London with me. Be my protector.
And I was so worried going into it as well. It's like, oh, he's going to camp it up, isn't he? It's going to be awful. But the camping it up made it... It just worked.
That moved the story up. It could have been like a 7 for the Witchfinders, but just his performance moved it up a whole position for me. Like it was 8, nearly a 9.
Oh wait, do you rate it an 8?
Yeah, I rate it an 8.
I rate it about a 7, but I think that's only because of the mud zombies.
Yeah, they are a bit like they're the mud flood, as I say. Like they are basically the flood equivalent of mud.
And I think my only problem with that, or at least my main problem with it, is that this was the witch episode that was bound to happen during the run of a female Doctor.
It would have been a crime if they hadn't. I was so worried that the Doctor wasn't going to get dunked. It's like that is a huge missed opportunity, but they do it and it's fine.
I just this is one that I really think they shouldn't have had an alien threat, because the story and like the actual threat that's already there is interesting enough.
Yeah,
it was the problem we had with Demons in the Punjab.
Like you could take the aliens out. Doesn't really. So.
Oh, remember when we went into the series thinking we were going to get pure historicals?
It was a lifetime ago, Jean. A dream that we could never have.
Oh, just make some bloody pure historicals, Chibnall.
Like, I remember we were like, oh, Rose is defo going to be a pure historical, and then it wasn't. It was like, okay, well, it worked way much better.
Yeah, it worked in that.
Historical.
It wouldn't have made sense. It wasn't there.
Yeah, and then Demons, it's like you can literally take them out, and all you lose is a really powerful moment at the end where you get to see all the deaths.
No, you wouldn't lose that. Oh yeah, I guess, like back on the ship.
Yeah.
But I the way they were set up doesn't make sense to me because like they threaten the Doctor.
Yeah, they act like really villainously at the beginning.
Yeah, and it's like set up like, oh, did they kill that guy?
It would have been a more interesting story had it been that there weren't any aliens. The coding man dies and it's the mystery, and Yaz keeps going on about, oh, it must be aliens, Doctor, and that's how they're not married, and things are all going wrong, and then the Doctor and everyone has to bring Yaz down. It's like, maybe this is just that horrible thing that happened in your nan's past. Yes.
That would have been so much better. Yeah.
That would have been so much better. But who are we to? But yeah.
I mean, they looked good.
Yeah, like it's a really good design, and it's wasted on the aliens that don't really do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, what were we talking about?
Witchfinders standout cast.
Standout cast. That evil woman who becomes the Mud Queen.
I preferred her when she was just the woman.
Yeah, when she was the woman, yeah, she was better than that. Oh yeah.
She became a bit, generic when she had her voice modulated. And it was like, I'm gonna fill you and all that.
Gonna fill you.
Yeah.
Come here, Doctor. I'm gonna fill you with my mud.
Oh no.
Oh, but Alan Cumming, I would love him to come back.
Alan Cumming makes that episode, definitely.
You know, like the whole thing of like how Churchill kept coming back for no reason.
Yeah. He was the Doctor's mate.
Just keep bringing back Alan Cumming.
Yeah.
Like every opportunity you get.
He's
Doctor
coming back.
What if she gave him a phone, or he finds Ryan accidentally left his phone? That'd be cool, because he keeps doing that in like expanded media and stuff. Just have Ryan keep leaving his phone.
Oh.
And it's like, Doctor, is that you?
That would
is Ryan there?
I mean, that would mean that King James would have to like work out how to use a phone.
He'd accidentally dial it or something, I don't know. Witchcraft!
I'm gonna be really disappointed if that doesn't happen now.
I'd love him to just come back.
He should be the new companion.
Every episode just pointing at the aliens. Satan!
Yeah.
Oh, it's just him running around with that knife, screaming. Oh, come on, we've got to move on from Witchfinders. It takes you away. I really liked the girl.
Yeah, she was good.
She follows me on Twitter now.
Really? First blind actress in Doctor Who.
Yeah, that surprised me.
I didn't. Yeah, because I didn't think that she was actually blind. I thought she was just playing it.
I didn't know she was blind until I saw a clip before, basically going, blind actress Ellie Woolwork, I think her name is. Sorry if I've got your name wrong. If you haven't.
Wait. Why does she have Twitter?
Why?
How does that work? No, how does that work?
You know, people can there's special screens that people can fill, right?
No, I didn't know that. I was thinking
that's because you're an uneducated swine.
Well, actually, I think it depends on how blind you are to begin with. Like some people can see light and things, other people, it's just completely black.
I don't know. She probably has some. She is blind. She is blind in real life, so she must have some special. There are ways of doing it.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, she was great. The dad, he was alright. He was a bit. He seemed like he was ready to up and leave his daughter.
Yeah.
But I guess that's it could have leaned more into that's the influence of the Solitract.
It's because this episode hates single fathers.
What else? Who else is in that? Oh, the Ribbons, the demon.
Oh yeah.
The little goblin man.
Yeah.
He was he was alright because he was just so random.
You reminded me of.
I still want your tubular.
You reminded me of the Master from World Enough in Time when he has like his makeup.
Oh yeah, he could have been. You never know.
Oh, wasn't there a thing that was cut from that? This big weird sort of monster.
Don't know.
Well, I've seen a picture and there's like this weird.
Yeah, that might have been cut. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently that was cut out, which it looked really good. I'm so disappointed.
Reuse that design.
Yeah. Or just include it, or just make an extended cut.
It'll probably be in deleted scenes in the DVD, or the Blu-ray or whatever, because I'm gonna get that set because I want it.
Yeah, boy.
It looks good. They've put effort into the DVDs and Blu-rays again.
I don't know, I'm kind of disappointed by the steelbook. Because they usually do, like, really nice paintings and stuff, like, get higher artists, but this time it's just literally the picture of her, so, you know, silhouetted. Which, you know, is a good picture.
But then you've got the companions on the back.
Yeah, it's a nice image. I just think, you know, the painted sort of nice covers looked a lot better.
Okay, sure.
Shh.
Shush yourself, you dumb cunt.
Then we had the Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos.
Mark Addy was alright as that Paltraki guy.
Yeah.
It just didn't do much. The Ux, the guy was better, I thought, than the woman.
Yeah. No, I
don't
don't think any of them really stood out. Like, they were decent. All right, there goes that guy cutting down his bush again. Nice. Yeah, they were good, but I don't think there was any standout performances. I think Tim Shaw was a lot better.
Oh yeah, he came. Okay, because Tiffy Boy came back, didn't he? He was much better in Ranskoor of Kolos than Woman.
Yeah, it makes sense because in Woman they obviously had to introduce a new Doctor, set up all the new companions.
And there's the thing, it's like, was Tim Shaw like? He's not much of a threat in Woman. He's more a generic bad evil man.
Yeah.
So it didn't really warrant him coming back.
He is just.
But when he did come back, he got a lot more to do.
Yeah, he was a lot better.
I'm just trying to think about things we haven't really talked about. TARDIS. Could we talk about TARDIS quickly?
Oh yeah, we've not spoken about the TARDIS. I like it. I know a lot of people aren't keen on the design.
Yeah.
It's sort of a blend of the RTD one and the McGann one, I guess, to an extent, just having the columns. I think it's quite a unique take, using the crystals.
I like how unique it is, because you can go too similar, but you can also go too far away. And the guy who designed it, Wyn Jones, when I was watching that video where he was talking about it, he really did care about how he designed the TARDIS and what he wanted for Jodie especially, and he worked well with Chris. Like, I don't think people really understand how much thought and process, like, people who work on the show do really care about it.
Yeah.
Especially this year, I do feel like that's something that's really come through. Like, the people who have been working on the show this year have really thought about and care about what they're putting in now. Really, I think.
Yeah. Yes. The only thing I'm not really keen on with the TARDIS is the actual console itself.
I'm alright with it. I just think the controls are just too messy. They're just they're just awkward. I like the two big levers that she pulls on to, like, set it off and materialize and things like that.
I think my main thing is this feels like more of a step back in TARDIS designs, because I think the Capaldi one is up there for me as like one of the best, especially in New Who.
Well, anything really coming after the Capaldi one's gonna feel like a bit of a downgrade.
Yeah, true.
But I was alright to see the Capaldi one go, because it'd been since 2013 we've had that TARDIS, and I think it was time for
we were due for
a new TARDIS.
Redesign. Yeah.
I'm happy to see this one for another 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. Just hopefully they light it a bit better.
They could do what they did with the Smith to Capaldi if they changed the Doctor, but don't want to change the TARDIS. Just change the lights. Make it blue. Make it blue.
Or they could, like, tweak it as they go on, you know, like, as the Doctor, as we get to know more of the Doctor.
Oh yeah, I was thinking that. It is a bit barren. Maybe add, like, some chairs or something.
I can't really see them adding, like, bookshelves or anything into that particular model.
No, I don't. Jodie's not really a Doctor.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking, like, what they done to the Capaldi one.
My one complaint with this TARDIS is it doesn't, like, we've talked about this before, but it's like, TARDISes can feel very homely and also feel like, they can also feel like very, like, unlivable in, and this TARDIS doesn't feel like it's lived in.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like, this one also feels quite contained. It doesn't feel like, you know, it spans off and there's, like, different rooms
I feel like if I were to write an episode for Series 12, I'd write one set where we go into the rest of the TARDIS. We need to see more of this TARDIS, because we had the Doctor's wife, which was great to see the rest of the Smith TARDIS. We didn't really see much of the Tennant TARDIS as well, which was a problem, I think
the RTD one worked because it felt lived in. Even if we did, for the majority, just see that one room. I think the only time we actually got to see more of the TARDIS was in what's the Christmas special? Yeah, Christmas Invasion, where the Doctor's changing his costume.
Yeah.
I think that's the only time we actually got to see more of it.
And it looks quite good.
Yeah. I think that was enough that we had to see. Like, I liked how in the RTD one, he just sort of lies about on that chair. Puts his feet on the console.
But with this one, it's quite, because there isn't like it's more like an optical illusion, like you don't know how big it actually is.
Yeah.
With like the darkness, which is quite good design, like the TARDIS is infinitely massive, so let's try and
like the
try and
Shadow
get that.
TARDIS.
Huh?
Like the Shadow TARDIS. Well, Schalke TARDIS, I should say.
Whoa! Did you get Schalke and Shada mixed up?
Shh. Editing. What is my friend?
So go on with start again with like the Schalke TARDIS.
Like the Schalke TARDIS.
Yeah, that works. I like the Schalke TARDIS a lot. Just thinking back to it, I haven't seen it.
I don't really remember. I just remember that. I'm pretty sure
it's
quite
black.
Big. Yeah.
It's quite big and quite black, but that's also, oh, someone's going to take that clip of me going, it's big and it's black now.
Well, they are now, because that's not getting cut out.
I just feel like we need to see more of it and to feel more homely, because there's no chairs.
Yeah, it feels like a blend of like being too scientific, but also like it's a sort of, it feels almost like a cave. If that makes sense.
It would probably work more for if like the Doctor, because you know how the Doctor used to pick up like Amy and Rory and Clara and things. At least in those TARDISes they felt lived in.
Yeah.
But the companions were barely ever there because Clara was always back home and the Doctor always came and picked her up. This TARDIS would have worked better for something like that, but this TARDIS crew live on the ship.
I think that's a problem that the second Smith console room had. Because the thing is, with Capaldi, he sort of made it his own, and sort of became more homely with time.
Yeah.
But his just feels a bit cold and empty.
Mm.
To the one that he has before.
Yeah, they did do a great redesign on that. They improved it a lot with Capaldi.
Yeah. I think adding the roundels was a big...
Yeah, that really works as well. Yeah. So yeah, we like the TARDIS, especially the exterior. Oh, that's the best exterior we've had in the entirety of the new show, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, better than Tennant's one, better than Smith and Capaldi's one.
Then again, I really like Bradley's TARDIS.
Yeah, but does that really count?
Probably not. I mean, it's from Twice Upon a Time.
Just talking about the new Doctors generally, like they've got a great TARDIS selection. Like with that, especially with that, the Smith. Like I was looking at a picture that someone had made the other day who I follow, who makes TARDIS models, like in computer models. The Jodie TARDIS is so much smaller to any of the other ones we've had.
It does look a lot smaller though.
But I think that's mainly for Jodie because she's like 5 foot.
Yeah, she's a lot smaller as a person.
But yeah, it's like, but it was showing like the Capaldi TARDIS, like they added layers and levels to it. It was like you look at it in Twice Upon a Time, it is humongous.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, I really like it. I think that'd be if I had to choose an exterior, that would be the exterior to choose. I know you really like the McGann one, and you would never change the McGann one, but I like this one a lot more.
I mean, yeah, it's my second favourite, I'd say.
Yeah, second favourite exterior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're done now with Series 11.
Overall, bit of a mixed bag. Enjoyed it for the most part. Looking forward to Series 12. Yeah.